What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Straight Betting. We got week one of the NFL. It's finally here. We're recording at halftime of Philly Dallas. Game's been pretty fucking awesome, honestly. A lot of
Fire
scoring, a lot of
game.
points. So can't complain with that. Say it's off to a good start. My boy Jake Ferg is pretty non-existent, but it happens. Anyways, I'm joined here with JG for president. Joel, how are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just excited to get into betting some NFL. It's definitely that and NBA are probably easily my two favorite sports. I think NBA is a lot easier to bet, but I love doing NFL. Love having something on the line.
I agree. NFL is just fun. I think because like baseball and WNBA are such like a snooze. No offense to big baseball and WNBA fans, but dude, it's just like from finals to football season, just like we're just kind of like itching for it. So it feels good when that first game comes on.
Half of the reason I bet too is for entertainment, and I just can't I can't get myself to sit and watch a WNBA game. I just can't do it.
Yeah,
Not hating.
Not hating,
but hating.
just don't find it entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to the NFL fans, we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, I'm giving out every prop that I had in full transparency. You guys can join my Discord down below, where I gave them all out. Some of these lines definitely have moved, but nonetheless, gonna give my analysis and hope to provide a little bit of value this way. Joel, I have like a shit ton. I think I have
So do
5
I.
props. So I'll go first here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. First one, I'm going with Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown over 17.5 on his longest reception. So I think that longest receptions are going to be something I bet a ton. And also on top of that, it's a little more than that, actually. I'm taking 0.75 units on the base. I'm taking 0.25 units for 20 plus for his longest reception. And I'm taking 0.15 units for 30 plus on his longest reception. So I'm laddering it up all the way. But yeah, Hollywood Brown, look, the hit rates aren't going to look good or anything. This is last year. This was like the year before that. I mean, he was fine. Looks like it moved up to 18.5 at FanDuel now. He was over an 8 out of 13 in 2023, 24 before. Last year, he was, very banged up and stuff. But basically, my reasoning behind this Hollywood play is the one thing this offseason that they've talked about nonstop coming out of Chiefs camp is that they need to get the downfield game going. There was a quote that Matt Nagy was like, Patrick, I'm just telling Mahomes, he has to let it rip. Like, that's something missing big time from their offense. So I just think that they're going to be a little bit more willing to, especially in game one, when, it's been like a point of emphasis. I think that they're really going to want to push the ball downfield. So I think that, those opportunities to get spike plays, explosive plays is going to be there more so, especially in week one, like I said. Look, Rashee Rice is suspended. The 4 receivers I expect to get decent playing time are Worthy, Juju, Tyquan Thornton, maybe, and then Hollywood Brown. And of course, Kelsey's going to be in the mix. We all know Kelsey at this stage of his career is a low ADOT guy. Juju, very low ADOT guy. Xavier Worthy is kind of like their number one option. So I don't think he's just going to be a deep threat. I think that Hollywood Brown is going to have to be the main guy operating in like those deep routes. If Xavier Worthy had a 5.3 ADOT from week 15 and on, when he was like really starting to step up and take on some of that shorter stuff. Not saying I don't think Worthy's going to get deep shots, but I think that Hollywood's going to be, his route tree is going to be more so mid to deep. And yeah, man, he was hurt kind of off season. He's been a full go at practice all week, so not really concerned there. Like I said, Tyquan Thornton, he's definitely a deep threat, but I just don't think we can project him to play all that much. So yeah, kind of just going out on a limb here, man. But I'm buying into the buzz on the Chiefs wanting to push the ball down the field, and think that Hollywood, with the receiving core that they have right now, is going to have to be the guy to take a lot of those deeper breaking routes.
I can definitely dig that. He's probably like going to be the second highest targeted receiver. And then he's also been a good yak guy as well. So like he can easily just like break one off as well.
Yeah. Like I said, mostly just buying into the coach speak from over the offseason.
Sure. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah. So let's not spend too much time. That's a play for KC LA, which is tomorrow. Joel, do you have anything for tomorrow?
I do have two.
Okay. Let's
The
hear.
first one I played was Pacheco over 1.5 receptions. I just personally think it just makes sense for him to kind of come back to a more featured role. Last season, like he was playing like sub 40% of the snaps in a ton of those games when he came back. He clearly wasn't fully healthy um, after the leg break, but I mean, a year removed from a fractured leg is something that I would feel like he would be back to like full go on. Yeah, so like it's like minus 160 right now, but I laddered it up to 4, so you can definitely still get a good price on that. And yeah, I mean, this is like one of the best defenses in terms of checkdowns. I think they allowed the most receptions and targets to running backs last year. Um, so yeah, even when you just look at it, when he plays the majority of the snaps, quite often he's hitting even just like 3 or 4. So I just think there's a ton of value here, and that the books were just sleeping on the fact that he had a super down end of last season, but I don't think that juice is gone. And I think it just took him a while to get fully healthy. You get a full off season, and I think he's going to be a lot better.
I love the fact that you laddered it. And what price did you get it at originally?
So I got it minus 137 or something like that. And then I think the ladder was like plus 230 and then like plus 400 or something like that.
Yeah. Would you, at this stage, would you just recommend that, they maybe buy in at like a plus like 250 mark, or if at like 3 or plus
Yeah,
like
I would skip straight over the 1.5 at this point.
agreed.
Yeah,
And
just
because
like
I think
straight
that
over it.
makes sense too.
With lower units too.
Yeah. I think that makes a ton of sense, because like you're taking like if you take the 3+ especially, you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take a chance. I think there's a good chance that Pacheco goes back to like borderline workhorse form that he was pre-injury. I mean, he did break his leg, so it makes sense why he was not very good when he came back. And it's like I feel like I'm with you. I think that there's definitely, because Kareem Hunt's the competition. This Kareem Hunt's not
exactly
good, right? So if Pacheco's anything close to what he was leg broken, he should be the workhorse. So yeah,
And
I love
Elijah
that.
Mitchell's there too, and so is Brashard Smith, who I like, as like he could get some passing down role there. But I mean, at the end of the day, I still think Pacheco's like their best running back that you just want to have out there as much as you can.
Yep. I think Pacheco's good, dude. Like, yeah, he wasn't
I
great when he
agree.
came back, but he's just like, I think he's a good player. So I'm in on that, man. And I love the alt look, especially. All right.
I have a second one in here if you want me to just
Oh, yep. Go for
get
it.
to that too. I took Quentin Johnston over 20.5 receiving yards. I think it's still at a pretty playable price, but to me, it just feels like they're completely like writing off QJ right now. He's been at the top of the depth chart all training camp. I know they drafted Trey Harris in the second round, but we've seen so many like bad second round receivers over the years. Like I just can't bank on them, like Trey Harris getting considerable time. And Quentin Johnson just had a super solid step up last season from where he was the year before. And he was getting more snaps. He's kind of on that like Devontae Adams trajectory where like early in his career, he couldn't catch well, but like he consistently got better. He had 700 yards last year. He's a big X on the outside that kind of complements what Ladd and what Keenan Allen are. Like I feel like Ladd and Keenan Allen kind of do a lot of the same things. Whereas like Quentin Johnson's a guy that kind of complements them, and he's good with the ball in his hands. So I just think he's being way too discounted right now at the current price. I think he plays a lot more of the snaps than they're anticipating here.
Yeah. So you obviously beat the market. You got a great number. Personally, so Joel, I really like his under 2.5 receptions. But like I can see the vision for yards too. I think you're right. He did take a step forward. It's week 1. the KLS guy. What's it, like Lambert Smith,
Lambert
right?
Smith. Yeah.
So it does kind of concern me that they do have two, like one like a
Solid
kind of hyped
rookies.
up rookie or like a high draft capital rookie, and then a hyped up low draft capital rookie. That
Sure.
does scare me a little bit. But it is week one, and I think that Harbaugh is like a guy of like make it, earn it. Like he's old school, right? And QJ already did earn it. So I think that the snaps will be there for him in week one. I don't think he's going to get many targets, but I do think that they will be downfield. Just Keenan coming in. Joel, fun fact for you: Keenan Allen had the highest target share on the Bears last year. I still think he's pretty good, but I will say that's just gonna take away the like. That's not where QJ operates, anyways. Like where Keenan operates. So I don't think that will affect. I think that will affect the overall targets to go around. I don't think it will affect the yards that much. So I do like the fact that you went over the yards and you clearly got a good number, but I think that there's a little bit of risk with just like the backup guys, I guess.
Sure, and I get that, and I don't even think he needs to play, like, all the snaps or anything. Like, last year when he played, like, sub 70% snaps, like 65% or whatever, he was still clearing the line, um, and he was honestly one of Herbert's top targeted guys. I think his targets per route run last year was, like, 27%. I
Yep.
think it led the team on a per route basis. So yeah, for me, I think he's too discounted at the current price, but like I can get the other side. I'm just like willing to take a shot here that he's actually like in a solid role. Even in like that first preseason game, the first play from scrimmage was like Herbert play action, deep shot to Quentin Johnston, and then obviously he got concussed, but um,
But he's back,
he's-
baby.
yep,
A Hollywood Brown 80-yard touchdown to set up the positive game script for Johnston. How does that sound?
I love it.
All right, let's get off this game. Okay, I'm gonna share the prop because I bet it. I would not bet it this exact same way that I did, and I don't even know if the original bet's gonna be there. I took Tutu Atwell under 2.5 receptions. I paired it with Christian McCaffrey to get 3+ receptions. Obviously, guys, CMC randomly got a calf injury
I
after
see what you
being
did there.
healthy all year. So absolutely ridiculous from just ridiculous. So I would not obviously pair it with CMC, but just look for some juice to reduce it down. And so yeah, Tutu Atwell. So there's still like every book still has it at minus at 2.5 with heavy juice. So just find something else to pair it with, right? And find like a different alt, something that feels safe. I think like a James Conner 40+ rushing yards makes sense or something, which is actually what I was originally going to do before CMC. But looks like NFL season just off to a great start. Anyways, Tutu Atwell under 2.5 receptions. If you go here, I'm doing with Puka and Cup. Obviously, guys, Cup's off the team, but Adams is on the team. So I think that like the Puka and his wide receiver 2 are still going to combine for like an elite target share. A lot of these games he didn't play a ton. Tutu obviously got paid over the offseason, but you can like even bring his snaps up and stuff to, I think I did like 40% and higher. Yeah, 40% and higher with Puka and Cup. He was under in 5 out of 7. He was only averaging 3.6 targets in this game. And actually this game too, you can kind of grift it out with because that was a game that Stafford didn't play in. So yeah, if you take the game that Stafford didn't play in, then it's only down at 3. And this is with him playing big snaps. He's obviously in the wide receiver 3 role, technically, but Jordan Whittington is also a guy who's competing with him for the job. There hasn't been much news about it on the offseason, but there has been a lot of positive Jordan Whittington stuff. He's a great blocker, and McVay like appreciates that kind of stuff. Like I said, Whittington didn't play in the preseason, so I think there's a decent chance that we have like Tutu not even like being the clear cut number 3. Maybe it's like a split of some sort. Vibes are kind of weird with the Rams. Stafford, we don't know how good he's going to be, with the back issue and stuff. There's a report on more 12 personnel. Obviously, if they're running 12 personnel, Tutu is not going to be on the field during those. And, Houston, brutal matchup as well. PFF's number 4 D line, PFF's number 4 secondary. They're going to be a tough team to pass against. And Tutu's just going to be a deep threat, man. Like all his targets are going to be like super downfield. He's just going to be a burner. He's not going to get really like low ADOT stuff or anything like that when he does even get targeted. So yeah, I think that there's some good value on Tutu here at just like 2.5. It feels like very, very unlikely. Don't think he's gonna like Adams and Cup gonna dominate targets. Higbee will be ahead of Tutu. Even like and like I said, even like the Whittington aspect. So yeah, paired it with CMC 3+ receptions, but yeah.
Yeah, like they just want to use him to like take the top off the defense too, and like those aren't guys who get targeted a ton. This was one of the first ones I looked at was his receiving yards when I started looking at the slate, but it was like so low, and I was like, "Fuck, dude! If he just catches like a 50-yard bomb for like one snag or like one snag for like 20, like that, because that's just how they want to use him." So yeah, no, I agree with you. Like 3 catches feels ridiculous for him,
Yeah.
especially in this role.
Joel, look at this though. So under in all these
Yeah,
games,
see, like that's what.
but then the longest reception, he's basically had a 20-yarder, which is probably like plus 150 for a 20+ reception or something. And he's had like that a 20-yarder and 406 with these same filters. So I wouldn't, dude. I was actually just deciding between like an alt longest reception from Tutu and just under reception. So
I respect that.
yeah. Okay, enough talking about Tutu Atwell, and I don't even want to mention CMC's name because I drafted him in fantasy, and he's about to piss me off in week 1. So hit us with the
He'll
next
be all
one,
right.
Joel.
He'll be all right. So my next one is Trey Benson over 23.5 rushing yards. I just think James Conner getting up there in age 30, and then a bunch of coach speak and talk this offseason about them being a 1A, 1B situation. Great matchup against the Saints, horrible against the run last year. I know they added some personnel up front, but like I think the Saints are just going to be terrible overall. Like you're probably getting a really good game script here. So yeah, I think Benson's in like the range of like 7 to 8 carries, and if that's the case, I just feel like 23.5 rushing yards is just too low as a 4 yards per carry guy.
Well,
I
I
could
think
see him 8 to 9 too.
yeah. I mean, you picked the best possible game for it, right? Against the Saints with Rattler starting. Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if it's like just like the pure Connor show for sure. I think I like this one because of the matchup more so. I think that like honestly, like if Trey Benson has a big game, I might like look to like fade him in the next game. But since they're playing the Saints, I think there's a lot of outs for this one to go over. Obviously, they project to be a terrible defense. Wouldn't be shocked to see him around like that 5-6 yards per carry range, blowing them out, and you're getting extra Benson time, keep Connor fresh and stuff. Or you could get there with just like you're right on the 1A 1B thing. So I think there's a lot of ways to get here, and I love that. I think the Saints matchup is just giving you a ton of outs.
Yeah. He was super efficient last year too. So like I expect that to continue.
Yeah, good running back. All right, another weird one. Actually, yeah, this is another weird one, kind of. I've taken Travis Etienne over 13.5 receiving yards for 0.75 units, and then I'm taking him to get 20+ receiving yards as well against the Carolina Panthers. Travis Etienne, obviously, you can make the case that there's some risk with him for sure. I know like a lot of people like Tutin and all that, but yeah, basically, man, he went over this line in 8 out of 15 games, despite only averaging 4.9 yards per target last year. And look, so Liam Cohen, this is a sneaky one, but he has like he's like an amazing coordinator for screens. Like last year, Rashad White and Bucky Irving. So Bucky averaged like 3.6, or Rashad averaged 3.6 targets, 3.2 receptions, 24.6 yards, 6.9 yards per target. Bucky Irving was at 3.1 targets, 2.8 receptions, 23.1 yards per game, and 7.5 yards per target. So they also had the 4th highest target share, the Bucks running backs did. So yeah, man, I mean, they were literally combining for like 47 receiving yards a game on insane efficiency, like that 6.9 yards per target, 7.5. I mean, that's really, really good for running backs. So I do get the concerns, like I mentioned, for Etienne, but in week 1, I would think that the most likely outcome is that it's pretty much just him and Tank, and Travis is clearly obviously like the receiving back who you want to get the ball in space instead of Tank. So I do think that his receiving role at the bare minimum should be pretty safe in week 1. And yeah, like with screens, because I think the big thing is like the screen stuff. Like obviously, this probably isn't going to be a game where they're like, like trying to come back like down 2 scores and he's just stacking up receptions. But screens are pretty boomer bust. And I do think he's going to get a couple opportunities at them. So it's like kind of, I like buying into the alt stuff just to, maybe he breaks one off and, gets like a 30-yard reception or something. So yeah, I just think that the efficiency department on the yards per target is going to be pretty good for all these Jags running backs. And yeah, I think that that's going to be ETN's role early on.
I actually love that one because I don't know if you saw the quote the other day of Liam Cohen saying that like they're trying to move him all over like the field, like not just playing just running back, so like playing like some receiver and everything too. So I mean that's just an added bonus when it comes to receiving yards and stuff. How do you feel about Travis Hunter's role at receiver?
I think he'll be pretty low ADOT. I think he's someone who's definitely going to get some screen passes. Don't love the game script for like a massive reception game or anything. I would probably just like stay away in week 1, but
I agree.
Don't hit like a reception look or something.
Do you think he plays like heavily more offense than defense?
I bet he's like at like 65, 70 row participation, maybe 75 or so. And probably like 20% snaps on defense. I think
like 3 receiver sets and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and why is this shit going off when I have it on Do Not Disturb? You hear that? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Joel, hit us with the next prop.
So I have Devon Achane under 14.5 rushing attempts. I'm a huge Ollie Gordon believer. I think he's like the perfect offset to what Devon Achane is. And Devon Achane's never been like a true workhorse back. He's really not built to even be a true workhorse back and like be given that much punishment. So 15 rushing attempts feels pretty extreme. I have him more as like a 10 to 12, and then you like throw him out in space, like 6 balls or whatever, 5 or 6 balls per game. So I think Ollie gets like 8 to 10 rushes like off rip, and I think that this Achane line feels pretty egregious. And like a lot of those games that you're showing are like with him as the only like running back. Some of those are with Mostert, but I think Ollie kind of just fills that Mostert role and like gives that perfect like balance to this Miami offense that they really haven't had. Like even Mostert was not as physical as a runner as Ollie Gordon is. So I'm big on Ollie. I even played an Ollie 50 plus rush yards. Like I just sprinkled on that because it was like plus 700. So I mean, if you can get 10 carries for like at a 5 yards per carry clip, like I think you could hit that. But yeah, I'm loving the under as a straight.
I love it too. I think that this is an amazing bet. I'll probably end up being on it as well. Yeah, I think it's a great bet, man. Even like the Colts, I think the Colts could be like a time of possession team. Like they're gonna have a great run game with Taylor. Daniel Jones, honestly, I'm a Josh Downs fan. I think Pittman's pretty good. I think that Mitchell/Pierce are pretty good, and Tyler Warren's pretty good. I think that it's not going to be a very explosive passing game, but I think that this offense could be like annoying to like keep off the field at times, especially when you're going up against like a pretty crappy defense like Miami. So yeah, I completely agree with you, man. I think that Achane's at his best when he's getting 10 to 12 rushing attempts and like 6 to 7 targets. I think that's kind of where I ended up having him when I started him out for the year. And yeah, it's like Ollie Gordon kind of proved that he could be pretty good on the preseason, dude. So I think this is a great bet, man. Also, the calf issue early on, you don't know how much that's or anything. So
and the thing with like running backs in the preseason is like it's not like a quarterback where like it's just straight vanilla defense. Is like it's like they're going against worse players, but like you still have to like see holes and like hit holes to like be super efficient runner in the preseason. So like that kind of thing translates.
Yep. And he was like the best running back in college football. I know he had like a down year, but he won like the Doak Walker Award or whatever. So
yeah, clearly I think he ran, the problem is he ran like a 4.6 at the combine, which was like egregiously bad, but that does not matter. Yeah, that does not matter.
Yeah. It's like, are they good or are they not? Like the game's not
And
played
he's
on.
not someone you want to tackle. And I
No.
think that's something that the Dolphins have needed for a long time.
Yep. Absolutely. And yeah, it's like, why would HN get short yardage stuff when you have, and those are just like, you can kind of stack up rushing attempts with stuff like that. So yeah, that could be another one too. All right. Another longest reception ladder, Darius Slayton over 16.5, 20 plus. I put, I put a little bit on 20 plus and 30 plus as well. I believe I put 0.25 on 20 plus and 0.15 on 30 plus. So first of all, man, I think that this is just a massive upgrade. Let me quick go pull up Darius Slayton. Obviously, guys, like Daniel Jones just does not push the ball downfield whatsoever. And the last couple of years, he's literally been playing like with Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito, basically. Like just literally no one who can push the ball downfield whatsoever. And I am struggling to find versus the same Giants. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I mean, just like brutal quarterback play. And I think that this might have moved. Looks like it moved up a yard. Actually, DraftKings still has it there at 16.5, which is good. But yeah, I mean, if you go to the last 2 years, he's over in 57.6% of games. That's 19 out of 33. I mean, dude, he did that with like god awful quarterback play that just couldn't push the ball down the field whatsoever. Yeah, Russ is just a huge upgrade on that. There's not really a risk, in my opinion, that he's gonna have poor routes ran. He literally, kind of surprisingly, signed a 3-year, $36 million deal this offseason. So routes really shouldn't be going anywhere. And then they're playing against the Commanders, who are PFF's 31st ranked D line, and then 28th ranked secondary. So kind of just sounds like a recipe for them to be giving up some explosive plays. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback, let Russ dial up his moon balls. Yeah, I think that Slayton's actually a pretty good player. And just like the fact, Joel, that like he's been over this line in 19 out of 33 games with just quarterbacks who literally can't push the ball downfield. It's like you think that this would maybe be like a 62, 63% hit rate prop with like a guy like Russ or someone,
I actually love that. I love that analysis right there because that is literally Russ's specialty. He'll just moonball it up there. And yeah, I mean, Slayton, I mean, he's not a bad player, man. Danny Dimes literally was a dink and dunker too. Like that's just like what we were talking about with like the Colts game about how it'd be hard to keep them off the field. Like that's what he did all season. Just like pick up those short first downs. So yeah, I can definitely get behind this.
Hell yeah. Good old Darius Slayton props, eh? Okay, Joel, do you have anything else left for us? I got one last play, and it's a touchdown score, actually.
I do. I have 2 long shots that I played, and I'm just gonna mention both of them. I played AD Mitchell, and I played Dontavion Wicks 50 plus yards each. I was just looking at some. I got plus 1,000 on Adonai Mitchell, and then Dontavion Wicks I got plus 700. I was just looking at stats from last year, and these are 2 like elite separators, and so it's just something I like. First game of the year, you have a whole offseason of 2 players that were so good running routes, so good separating, but they just couldn't put it all together. Like they had drop issues and would get like taken off the field. I don't know if their snaps are going to be amazing, but at those odds, I just wanted to kind of take a stab at them. Dontavion Wicks was the 4th best separator last year, and Adonai Mitchell was the 8th. And like when you just look at the names around them, it's like Ayuk, Mike Evans, Khalif Raymond's like up there, but like AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Lad McConkey, and like they have super high win rates on their routes too. And so when I was just looking at the names around them, I'm like, all right, like let me just take a shot to see if these guys can like take a little bit of a jump this year at those odds. I just kind of took a stab.
Yeah. Dude, I was so high on Wicks last year, and I will say his hands definitely are disappointing. But that's correctable, right? That's like getting open really isn't correctable. You either are athletic as shit and can like run routes, or you can't. It's like hands are so like teachable, coachable, fixable. I actually really like the Wicks stab 100%. And then AD Mitchell. So I'm with you on the talent on AD Mitchell. I actually wouldn't be shocked if like he was like the best Colts wide receiver, to be honest. I don't know if in week 1 you're getting okay, but you're getting 10 to 1.
10 to
So
1.
yeah,
That's the whole reason I'm playing it.
yeah. So like I think it's like maybe like a 6 to 1 probability or something. But so 10 to 1 I do like. And I like that you're taking a stab. Like, what if AD Mitchell is just like, on the field a ton and he's like really, really good? I think that him being really, really good is definitely in the range of outcomes. And if you're good, then maybe you play like 50 or 60% of the snaps against a dog shit secondary. So I do like that, man. Week 1's a time to bet that because we don't know. Like, we don't know shit,
Exactly.
really. We can try to project anything. And then the Wicks thing too, man. Yeah, it's like Watson's still hurt. I know like Reed's really hurt.
Yeah, Reed has
Dobbs.
a Jones fracture. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Reed just gets completely rolled out. He didn't practice yesterday. He practiced limited today. I would not be surprised if he's just not playing.
Yep. And
There's like no receivers that play on a Jones fracture. So
and Wicks could easily just hit this if he like goes a game without a drop.
Wicks has like a super low, like 18.5 regular line too, which I kind of like. But yeah, I took the stab on just the small units on, just a couple more long shot plays.
Yep.
Just
Love that.
straight betting on talent.
Speaking of betting on talent and opportunity, actually, my final play is going to be Jalen Knoll of Houston Texans to get us touchdown plus 600 was bet 365, and then I believe there's 550s out there as well, just a quarter unit on it. Look, I just think this is mispriced. I'm not going to like overstep here. Christian Kirk's out with a hamstring. If you look at the other Texans, so Jalen Knoll, he's a rookie slot receiver who I know people are pretty high on him. But so other receivers on the team, Nico Collins, Xavier Hutchinson, Jaden Higgins, rookie, big body receiver, and then Justin Watson. I mean, these guys are all like big bodied outside receivers, right? There's not really any other slot guys whatsoever. So I think that Jalen Knoll is going to be pretty close to like a full-time slot player who could be pretty talented. And when that's the case, man, usually see like guys like that to score a touchdown at like plus 300, plus 350. I don't know if he has props out yet. I'm definitely going to hop on his normal props too, but I did want to get a little stab in on Jalen Knoll. The books they're not pricing him like he's going to be close to a full-time player. And I'll take a stab on that.
I don't see props out for him, but yeah, like these are the types of things you have to do week 1 is you kind of just have to project like unknowns, project into that. And then like when you get odds like plus 600, like you just take stabs at those. Like you have to flag plan on things. And if you think that Jalen Noel is going to be playing a ton of snaps, like that's an amazing bet and you're going to get great value no matter like what the outcome is with it.
Yeah, let me quick check to see what his touchdown is at currently. I want to see if I got CLV. Did I get CLV? Let's see, Jalen Knoll to score a touchdown. Looks like it's still at 600 at FanDuel. Actually, it went up at FanDuel, so go ahead and snag that while you can. Anyways, Joel, football's on. Time to go watch the rest of this game in peace.
Yes,
but thank you for coming on, man. Is there anything you want to shout out before you head?
No, man. Just appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, good talking. Always fun talking, dude. Just fucking talking about gambling,
Spitting
dude.
ball, man.
Yeah, just spitting ball. I think we
That's what
gave
we
out some
love to
pretty
do.
good looks too, man. So hope that week 1 pans out for the both of us. I know we both didn't have the best football season last year, so
Yeah, no.
so hopefully it's going to be better. But I do think we're thinking the right ways, guys. Buy into variance in week 1. Honestly, just buy into variance in general with the NFL. I think that like playing plus money is probably the way to go, more so than not, especially on straight bets and alts. Like buy into Tutu Atwell catching 2 passes for 60 yards and bet his 30-yard reception, bet his under 2.5 receptions and 50+ yards. Just buy into like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, Joel. Well, appreciate you coming on. Like I said, follow my guy at JG for President on Twitter. Join his Discord. I know he's giving out all of his picks in there. And yeah, well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on Monday.